What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Brian. With me always is that handsome young
I'm
man.
I'm Mark.
What's happening, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing fine. Ow, cat!
Are you sure?
Ow, damn cat!
The cat's trying to climb up your leg.
Yes, the
Trying to do a
kitten.
podcast, and the cat's trying to climb up your leg.
Anybody want a cat?
Free cat, come get it.
I'll give it
That's how
away.
you get rid of a. That's how you get rid of a cat, dude. That's.
Well, you said no more cats on the show. I was trying.
Oh man, so what's happening, Mark? What do we got going on tonight?
I don't know.
It's a
What do
special
we got?
night. We don't normally do a show on a Wednesday, so
Oh no, we don't. So let's say I reached out I'd say about a month ago. Actually, it was longer than that, but it took her a little bit to answer me back. But she did a good job afterwards. But I reached out to a native of Citrus County. She's a comedian. Um, she graduated the same high school we did.
okay.
What else has she done? I don't know. We'll have to ask her. But any which way, her name's Dana Teller.
Wait. What's her name again?
Dana Teller.
Dana Teller. Man, I've heard that name before.
Well, she's got this. They say famous brother. He had a little part in a big movie that was released a couple years ago.
What was that?
Top Gun Maverick.
That's right, Miles Teller. I know exactly who. There you go. Dana. So let's talk about Dana. Let's bring Dana on. Let's talk to Dana because I heard that she's really funny.
Hey guys.
What's happening, Dana? How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Well, we're happy now that you're here.
It would have been better if the cat wouldn't have stretched the hell out of me.
You got pussy problems, Mark. That's what's going
That's
on.
that's exactly what listen, dude. I told him I was like, listen, man, if you were just trying to give somebody the kitten, just like hold the kitten up on the screen and be like, Zabanya.
I thought it was a bit. At first, I thought it was maybe your opening bit. Maybe.
Oh no, not that time. Normally, I'm always in pain, but not like that. The cat really got me. Just jumped up.
I saw your tennis balls and was like, hey, what's going on here?
Like and grind.
So
Anyway.
Dana, you're originally you're from Citrus County. You graduated here.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
do you think about our little town here, our little Citrus County? What do you think about this place?
I love Citrus County. It was a great place to grow up in. I think me and my boyfriend were trying to find, there's just something about a small town that just has these salt to the earth people. I mean, my first friend that I met when I moved to Florida in 8th grade is still my very best friend. I'm having my 40th birthday party in 2 weeks, and there's going to be 2 Citrus County natives there with me. I mean, these are my people, and I recently did a tour in Florida in April. I was there for 2 weeks, and the Citrus County people, they came out, that love and that support rolls deep. And I just was like so proud to be part of that community. And, people drove from all over to come see me. So, at first it was a big shift moving from, a town in New Jersey to Florida. But, that's my home. That my parents still live there. I still go back there a couple times a year, and I appreciate it now more than I did at the time. I think when you're in high school and there just seems like there's not a lot to do, but I gotta say, I said there's 2 people that know how to party really good, and that's gay men and rednecks. They know how to party. They're partying on a different level. The parties do not match up, but they're doing it right. They're doing the partying. 2 very different kinds of parties, but they're both having the most fun. That's for sure.
I will let you know. I go to the redneck mud parties. Mark, I think, attends the other one.
Hey. No.
Mudding is fun. I had no idea what it was, but that's kind of what I'm talking about too. Like, we would go do that, and I had so much fun. You know what I mean? I never knew that world existed. So, but yeah, a lot of parties in the woods, but really just I'm always trying to recreate that in so many ways. I mean, I live in LA now, and I will find the fire pit at any party, any restaurant, any bar, and that's where you will find me hanging out, making friends with people, because
That's perfect.
that's how you get to know people, just hanging around a bonfire. I like to shake my thing too, but you can pretty much find me anywhere hanging around a bonfire. So
you live in Cali now?
I'm in Santa Monica, California, which
You
is
love it?
beach. I do. I mean, it's nice to have variety too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't think any place is perfect, but it's offered me a lot of opportunities. I've actually transitioned. I was an accountant before I went to Florida State for accounting. And, I wound up joining this company that, created this new cancer treatment for people by kind of reconfiguring your own blood cells, and that wound up selling, and it has allowed me like the flexibility to pursue my calling and my passion, which is comedy. And there's also there's a lot of comedy clubs in LA, so I'm able to get my reps in. And yeah, this is the breeding ground, it seems, for these things, and it's allowed me to kind of build this community of writers and comics for me to pursue this dream. But I wouldn't have gotten here. It took a long road to get here, but I think having the flexibility, that a California company gave me is really cool, to where I can kind of leave that behind and now make this big pivot into my passion.
I got to spend some time in California when I was in the military. San
San
Diego.
Diego's great. What'd you think?
Love San Diego. I mean, come on, original Top Gun was filmed at parts of
I know.
original Top Gun were filmed down there. I literally took the drive where he took his motorcycle up the hill. And don't drive that in a stick shift if you're brand new driving a stick shift.
Yeah. I know some of these roads are scary out here.
Yeah.
Like when I took my first hike up to Malibu and I'm weaving all around, these things. My mom always says she's a flatlander. She's from Florida. She's a flatlander. You know what I mean? So, but San Diego, yeah, I think any man I've talked to that has been to San Diego says it's his favorite place in America. So there's just some major masculine energy going there. But the weather's great year round. You know what I mean? It's 72 and sunny. I mean, there's a reason why Hollywood is here. It's because it has the most filmable days per year. That's why, because it has the best weather. Yeah, so I can't complain about that. And I live at the beach, so I don't have to deal with the LA traffic mostly. Yeah.
Wait till you have to, though. That's gridlock.
Although I gotta say, when I just came back to Florida for my tour in April, it's busy. It's busy there now. The people have moved in, and Citrus County is busier than I mean, I hit traffic.
We got a Target now.
I know. I went there. I did my Christmas shopping there, my last minute. But yeah, that Orlando to Tampa corridor, that was like the 405 in LA. That was just as busy as California, so I don't want to hear it.
I miss the cuisine in California. I miss In-N-Out Burger. Huge fan. Mark will never get to experience it because he doesn't want to travel.
Actually, it's supposed to be coming to Florida.
They're never coming to Florida.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
If it comes to Florida, I'm first person in line.
No, I'm not. I seen it not too long ago in saying that they're coming to Florida.
I'm
really?
in. Let's go.
Okay, I'm all about In-N-Out, but
yeah,
the fries. What's up with the fries? They are mushy. I don't get it. They are not good fries.
Eat them animal style.
How can you be a burger spot and not have crispy fries? They're just smush.
They're all stringy and gooey, but you got to get them animal style. If you get them animal style, you'll be like, holy crap, I love them.
I'll take Five Guys fries any day over In-N-Out. I think Five Guys is good.
Those are the bigger fries, right?
They're just, I mean, you see them like slicing the potatoes right there.
Yeah. Fresh cut.
But they're crispier.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you find out that you were going to be a comic? Like, how did this all come about? I mean, you went from accounting, which is like, I mean, come on, Brainiac.
I know. I feel like when people are like, think of the most boring job you can do. And I feel like everyone always says accountant. Like they are the butt of every like boring job joke, you know what I mean? But I always say like there were people think it's like out of left field, but there for me because I've always been I was always the ham of the family. I mean, my brother, he is an actor, but the reality is, and he'll say it too, it's just I was the one that was front and center in front of the camera all the time. Anytime there was a camera running, I was there with a microphone, I was shaking it, I was telling jokes, I was singing and dancing. So I was always the ham of the family. My brother was always a little bit more in the background, which kind of makes sense. Comedy is more interaction and you're engaging with people and you're really, it's just you on a microphone on stage where, in film, you're behind the camera. There is that veil. You're a little bit removed, but that was the environment he was in. We all performed and I grew up doing a lot of theater. And then, I think just like anything else, when you do the thing, you go to high school, you graduate high school, and you're like, okay, well, now I'm supposed to go to college. So now you go to college, and now I'm supposed to get a job. And you just like do all these things, and you lose sight of the things that brought you so much joy. And I'll be honest, I didn't think that you could like make a living out of doing art, which is just crazy. Because then look at my brother, you know what I mean? But I just really thought that like that's not a real thing. That's something that you have fun with and you play with, but it's not something that you do. Yeah, and I always joke like about an accountant, but the accounting thing, I did always like money. I was always counting my money. Like other girls had their Barbies.
Money.
I had my coin counting machine. You know what I mean? Like that was me. That was my Barbie dream house. Was just like, they're like, come play with our Barbies. I'm like, how about this 5-gallon jug of change? Let's count that. You know what I mean?
You're like, I don't care if it takes 2 weeks. We're doing this.
I know, right? And there was some dirty qualities. I always say, like, my brother always makes fun of me because my favorite treat as a kid was Fig Newtons. Like what a lame treat. Everyone's like sugar. I'm like fiber. You know what I mean? Like what the lamest. And he would be like sneaking Butterfingers in the game. But yeah, and then I came out here, and actually at my brother's wedding, he gave me about a 2-minute heads up that I had to give the speech at his rehearsal dinner. And I'm like, that is being a sister of the groom. That's a man for you. Like the sisters of the bride had prepared an entire, repertoire of things. They had a song and dance for 3 months. They had been planning and rehearsing. I had 3 minutes, you know what I mean? So anyway, I wound up, I basically did a 5-minute set last minute, and it was about 100-ish people, and I crashed, you know what I mean? And that was the first time I've been really put in that kind of an environment as an adult. And I had so much feedback, so many people that night were like, you really need to go for this thing, like, have you seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? Your timing's great. How did you do that? You know what I mean? And so then the pandemic hit, and I kind of was like, all right, well, I just think I had fear, that's the only thing I can guess why I didn't try it. And I think with stand-up, it felt like this solo venture, and I always was so much of a team sports like person. But then I took a class, and that just kind of took away the scary part, like when we met Tom Cruise, he takes classes for everything.
Really?
Everything. When he did Tropic Thunder, and he's like the executive.
Yep. Yeah.
He took hip hop classes for like 6 weeks, just to like get the rhythm of his body, just to move like that. But when we had met him, he like anything he has done, he has taken a class for. And I was just like, I mean, if Tom Cruise can take a class, so can I. Like, why can't, you know what I mean? Like, he's the cream of the crop. And so I just was like, yeah, I'll just take a class. So I took a class, and it really was like a writer's room, a writing group. Everybody kind of writes their material, and then they perform it every week. And then you get notes and pitches and punch ups like that. And it's really just formed this community for me. And yeah, it's better than any drug I've ever taken. I'll say that, getting those laughs on stage. And I've done a few. I did grow up in Florida. So there's
it wasn't meth though, right? No.
That's the only one I haven't tried. Although there's plenty of my friends are getting their houses remodeled, and You know, I feel like everyone working on them's on meth. I don't know how they're building that many kitchens and that many days.
Listen, don't worry. They ain't going to come out square either. They'll come out good enough. Just good enough.
I know. And some of them, I was just like, how did that happen? You just finished your whole kitchen remodel in like 2 weeks. And they're like, pretty sure he's on meth. It's like, okay.
Listen, you're either going to get them one of two ways, right? You're either going to get them where they work their asses off because they're all burnt out, or they're coming down and you're like, God damn it, I want to hire you in the morning, not late in the
it's
afternoon.
crazy to say, like, I like you better when you're on drugs. You know what I mean? Like,
is that wrong to say? Is that wrong to say? I don't think so.
I like you better on drugs. That's what I say about my sister too. Take those meds. No, I'm just kidding.
So it sounds like you've gotten to meet some really, really cool, famous people. Have you performed anything in front of them, or told them any jokes to see how they get over?
I think I'm kind of always. I see myself much more as an entertainer than just a comic. You know what I mean? Like I play piano and I sing, and I've incorporated those elements into my stand-up. But I would say, like, I'm kind of always performing a little bit. I'm always going for the laugh. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily do a stand-up routine, in front of just individuals, because they really say, like, don't do stand-up in front of less than 10 people. There's just kind of this element, this magic that happens when you're in a room with more people. Laughs beget more laughs. And what makes comedy funny is usually the relatability. So it's like, it's not always easy for one-on-one for people to relate. But if you get me 10 people, then someone in there can kind of relate. But it's like, there's many people that have said that I'm the funniest sibling. So I'm not going to name names, but except for my mom. She did always say I was her funniest child, and she still says that. So, but my family has seen me perform, and some of my brother's friends have seen me perform. They're all so supportive. So it's really cool. But so it's just been cool to also just say, like, hey, there's another one of us that's also doing stuff too. And I think when people meet my family and, my parents and my grandparents, it all starts to make sense. We're all cut from the same cloth, Yeah.
What about you getting on a little show called Kill Tony?
I've just been thinking about this the last week. I was just thinking, like, if I went on there, what like if I went on Kill Tony, what kind of set would I do? Because that's a very different and specific crowd.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
you got what is it, a 60-second set?
I think it's so. I think they might let you go up to 3 minutes, but it's like, you got a minute. But I started thinking about it because one of the girls that actually opened for me on my Florida tour, she got on recently. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's really changed some people's careers. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's entirely my demographic per se, but another friend said, like, you can't even get in that room, like, as a guest to attend it. It's like booked out 6 months in advance. And I just think, like, I have some friends in Austin. I definitely, have some ins to the comedy circuit there. So I think I should. I think I should. Give it a go. What do you guys think? Should I do it? What do you think?
Put your name in the bucket.
What do you think about it?
I want you to do it. I want you to put your name in the bucket, and I want you to get on the stage and just absolutely murder these people.
What do you think of it? Like, what do you think? Yeah, how long have you been watching it, and like, what do you love about it so much?
So I started watching Kill Tony before Tony Hinchcliffe was freaking famous. Basically, like, he was on. He had like a little skit show on, I think, not skit show, but stand up on on YouTube or something like that. So that's where I started watching it, and then I started scrolling through TikTok, and I was like, oh, this is Kill Tony. I know this guy. He's on my, you know,
who's already on your radar.
Yeah, he was already on the radar. And then I don't know what happened. And then one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, we're gonna watch this roast of the roast of Tom Brady. My wife's like, really? We got to watch that? I was like, yep. She was like, wow. I was like, I heard that Kill Tony is going to be on there. I heard Tony Hitchcliffe is going to be on there. And she was like, really? She was like, is he funny? And I was like, I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's funny. He was funnier on there than I've ever seen him be. I don't know. Have you seen that? Have you seen him kill that thing?
Oh, yeah. Everyone met that moment. You know what I mean? I mean, like, I'll be honest. I'm like embarrassed to say I did not know of Andrew Schultz before that. I don't know how the guy sold out 5 nights at Madison Square Garden. I'm like, how do I not know this guy?
Right.
You know what I mean? Nikki, I've been following her forever. She's also like, she's such a total pro. She's been on the circuit. Yeah, every night for a long time. She works hard.
One of those ones that does all the roasts. So
yes, and she's been doing the roast forever, but she's also just like being in LA, she is always up. She's going up all the time. She's constantly trying new stuff. She's such a pro. So like she's been, because she's here, I've been seeing her for a while. But yeah, that really kind of I had known of Kill Tony, but I hadn't seen him do a set like that. They wanted you to do 15 minutes.
I think he's trying to say
they make clothes for that. So I don't know if you've heard of Spanx, Ruckus Ron, but they suck it all in. I mean, you can't ship for 3 days, but they work.
There you go, Brian.
No, passed. See, I have the opposite. I have to poop. I can't not.
I've never pooped, so I don't know. I've heard about it.
Hollywood types don't have a butthole, right?
I've never. I do have that because I don't mind butt stuff, but just there's nothing exiting. It's crazy. I know my boyfriend. He found the unicorn. He found me. It's crazy. I've never done it. So.
This is what I'm talking about. This is all you need to do for your set. Like that kills.
I want to watch it more, but I think I'm very, I grew up just being like a very masculine woman. I talk about a lot in my stand-up. So like there's definitely these arcs of my set that I think would fit neatly, that I think could appeal to a Kill Tony crowd. And then there's stuff that wouldn't. So that's kind of always the thing about comedy. What's been so interesting is like I can do the same set, take it 10 different places, 10 different audiences, 10 very different reactions. You know what I mean? So like, that's what's great about coming to Florida. They don't give a fuck about anything.
That is true.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So how long have you been going up on stage doing stand-up then? And have you ever, and I know this is going to be the hardest question that you're ever going to want to answer, have you bombed?
How am I bombed? There's definitely, I haven't been to something where it's just crickets the entire time. I think part of the reason for that is I've been doing stand-up for 2.5 years, and I have been doing this writing group. So where it's like, I'm not doing it in vacuum, but like so many people do stand-up, they go to open mics, they've never run their jokes by anybody. And that's the thing about stand-up and why I think like, they say it takes so long to get good. It's because, like I play music. I can practice on piano 1,000,000 times on my own, nail it, get it right. But the only way to know if a joke works is to do it in front of a bunch of people a lot of times. Like you only can do a rep at a show. Or if I'm practicing a musical instrument, I can get my reps in. If I'm practicing a sport, I can get my reps in by myself as many times as I want. You cannot get those reps in unless you're doing shows. So it's just like, it just takes longer to get your reps in. Yeah. And it's just like anything else. Like there is a formula to it, but there are a few jokes that I will just take out completely raw to where I haven't run it by anyone. I mean, even the pros still run their jokes by their friends. Their friends just happen to be professional comedians. You know what I mean? So, but nobody is going out there running jokes anymore. Like I don't think anybody's going out there running a joke completely, untested. So that I think that's why I haven't bombed. I've definitely had like a specific joke that is bombed within a set that is just crazy. It'll kill in one crowd. Like I've been doing these bits how I'm not like a big fan of dogs, but I've only felt that way since I moved to LA, because it's like not the dogs, it's actually the dog owners, because LA dog owners are just like a different breed of people. They just like treat their dogs like they're their children or their accessory. And so like those jokes, some of those jokes bomb, you know what I mean? Some of those jokes about how I feel about dog owners, because it's just people that are taking themselves too seriously. But like, I don't know, I go to a comedy show to laugh. Like I'm not there, but some people go to a show and be like, make me laugh. And it's like, no, I'm here to have fun. But I think that's always, I will say, when I've toured and I've opened for people who've been doing comedy a long time, and these headliners, what they tell me is they're like, you learn nothing from crushing. You learn everything from bombing. You know, it's just, it's failure with anything else. You know, it's like you only learn when you fail. So it's like, I've just come to embrace that. And don't get me wrong, it's like, it is definitely a hit to the ego sometimes. But I always joke that I suffer from high self-esteem, and that helps. So
there's a name for people like you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
at some point, yeah, I get it that a joke doesn't carry well with some people. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that. You know, I tell a story about my daughter when she was little and how I ended up having Play-Doh in my hand.
I remember this one.
And it kills with some people. And then I tell it to other people and they're like, dude, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Dude, the day we met, you still tell that. And you say it as a joke.
It's his opener. It's his opener.
It's a true story. It's a true story, and it's funny as hell.
I mean,
that's now,
you
but it
tell
wasn't
the same
then.
joke to 10 people and you get 10 different reactions. Like, it's
Right.
just, that's the name of the game. And sometimes all those 10 people are in the same room. Like,
To be in the same room, look at that.
that happens. But, you know, I've also, like, when I've seen some comics that I absolutely like, you know, when comics are on the road, they're testing their material for their special. That's the point of it. And like, I've definitely been to shows where Dave Chappelle is testing material and he's not crushing. You know, it's just that's the one thing I love so much about comedy is like, it's such a level playing field. Like, yeah, if you're Jerry Seinfeld and you're Dave Chappelle, we'll give you the first couple minutes, but at the end of the day, you still got to go up there and be funny. And like, if you're not funny, you're not funny. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a nobody or a somebody, like if you're not funny, you're not funny. And if you're funny, you're funny. But I do love that. It's just like, we're all equal, actually. I mean, we're all fighting for stage time, us, you know, lower on the totem pole. But like at the end of the day, your jokes, if you're a good writer and you have funny jokes, then people are going to and laugh, you know. And we all come into the same room the same way. So
we do need a female George Carlin. So if you know anybody that's looking.
Well, we're not talking politics, so.
No, but I'll tell you what, I missed the hell out of that man. He was probably one of the funniest comedians that I ever got a chance to listen to. I am a fan of Andrew Dice Clay as well, though. So
yeah. Have you seen I believe it's the HBO docuseries on George Carlin?
No,
really, really great. Or maybe it's just one long documentary that took me a couple of days to watch, but it's so fascinating. And you know, they go back from his early days before, you know, he found his niche, kind of like, you know, taking social commentary is really how I view George Carlin. It's just like this, just like very smart social commentary where you're able to have these very thought-provoking things that come through comedy. And I just think people are much more susceptible to hearing you when you're making them laugh, which I think would be, you know, I think we need now more than ever when people feel like very divided and far away from each other. It's like, well, you know, I feel like although he could be provocative and divisive, I actually think he probably brought more people together, George Carlin, than he separated them. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't on anybody's side. He was just on the side of like funny and thought, you know.
He had to make people laugh, dude. That was the whole gimmick, man.
But that wasn't his shtick early on. You know what I mean? So that's why the documentary I found like really fascinating, and just to see him with hair, that was part of it too. You know?
All right, listen, we hit the halfway point of the show. Let's do this. Let's take a quick minute to go refill our drinks, use the restroom, listen to a song that you've picked out.
That she has no idea what it is.
I don't know what the song is,
But
I'll tell you what.
I picked. I was going to go through the list, and when I did it, I was like, okay, what song do I want to play? And most of the time we have nothing but guy singers or bands and stuff. So I picked one off your list. I picked TLC.
Okay.
Great.
It's a great song.
Miss Amanda, you're here. I see you. Cool. Thanks for coming and hanging out. We're gonna play the song, and then when we come back, we are gonna play your favorite game, Florida or not Florida. So
Love it.
Let's do this. So that was out during your high school days, huh?
What a sexy video. Yeah. It's good stuff.
TLC there, creep.
That's what I have on my late night lounging playlist. Yeah.
I couldn't find a good.
When man's around or when he's not around.
Either. Any man's around. That's going on.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with Miss Dana Teller, comedian, musician, artist. Mark was trying to find like an IMDb page for you. Do you not have one yet?
Not yet.
IMDb.
I gotta keep booking these gigs. We'll see.
You got to do like some TV shows, like them little sitcom things that they shoot out there. They do a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there in California now.
There is. I mean, it's definitely, although it seems like there's more content than ever, which there is, but it does seem like, since the strike, it does seem like the good gigs aren't as easy to come around, but we'll see. One of my best friends that I met at Florida State, she's writing a pilot, and there is with me as a main character. So we'll see what happens. Having conversations with talent managers and representation, but yeah, there are things in the works for what's next, which is exciting.
That's good. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. All right, we are back, and we are going to play a little game called Florida or Not Florida.
Hold on, Brian. Before we do anything else, I want to introduce somebody that is actually going to be on the show tomorrow night, and he just stopped in to say hi. His name is Keith.
He's going to be on the show tomorrow. What?
Yes. He's a director, a producer. He writes. He's got this little. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. But he's got this series on YouTube called The Red Huntress. And then he's got some other movies that we'll be talking about more tomorrow. But I wanted to show,
everybody who's going to be on tomorrow. Gotcha.
Yeah. Before I forgot.
That's okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So the way this game works, I'm going to read. There's 5 headlines, so I'm going to read them one at a time. And between you and whoever would like to play with you, and normally Amanda plays, and Amanda's really good at this game, so be careful.
Well, I mean, the last couple, she's been a little off, so we'll see.
This is great.
But if you win, we discussed this earlier, if you win, we will send you this decal.
Stakes are high.
Actually, any which way, we'll still send her decals.
And we'll send you the OG decals for talking shit. You can do whatever you want with them. You flush them down the toilet. You can post them up on stop signs. That's where I like to put them.
No, Brian, you don't put them there.
I'd never put them there.
Okay.
Never. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start the game by reading the first.
They're in Busch Gardens too, by the way. He's putting them in Busch Gardens.
I didn't say that. You said that. Now you're on me. Thanks, a-hole. Oh, wait. You went to Busch Gardens too, didn't you?
Not with you.
Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. The first one. Inmate insists syringes pulled from his rectum aren't his. Did this happen in Florida or not
Yes.
Florida?
Florida.
Why? Why?
I'll tell you why. Because I have written a song on piano that is all about these Florida Man headlines. So I did a lot of Florida Man research, and all of the jokes in my song are based on real headlines, and that was one.
Wow. Okay. Let's see what Amanda says here. Come on. It's a little delayed, so you got to give her just a second. Let me read this headline one more time. Inmate insists syringes pulled from his rectum aren't his. In one of the more bizarre tales, even though the headline doesn't actually say Florida man or not Florida man, an inmate had 3 syringes pulled from his rectum. He insists that they're his father's. What?
His father's?
That's what he said.
Okay, that has to be a Florida thing because of the fact that he's blaming it on his father.
It is, in fact, a Florida thing, and I'm glad that Dana said that she wrote a song about this. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this song.
I thought I should.
Where can we listen to this song?
What's that? I haven't posted it entirely. I posted just a little clip the other day, but I do need to post
TikTok.
the whole song. Yeah.
Find it on TikTok.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought I shared it with you.
No, you didn't share it with me.
You don't look at half my shit anyway, so. Okay.
All right, here we go. Here's our next one. Our next one is a Ronald McDonald statue was stolen from the fast food restaurant in broad daylight. Did this happen in Florida or not Florida?
That could be anywhere.
Florida or not Florida? Yeah, it could be anywhere.
Not Florida?
Ronald McDonald was McFlurried away is the way it reads.
That's fun.
Dana's going to go not Florida on this one. Let's see what Amanda says here. Amanda, do you think that's... Keith says that's definitely Chicago. Always getting stolen in Chicago. Listen, I drove through there one time and lost a whole freaking set of hubcaps.
It's not weird enough. It's not weird enough for Florida. That's just some basic robbery. No. If it doesn't involve things shoved in your butthole or... what bestiality, it is not Florida.
you guys are all correct except Keith. Keith, unfortunately, it is not. It is Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is where it happened.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. All right.
So regular old Pennsylvania fool. Not weird enough for Florida.
Two down. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Cop claims Burger King put dirt on his food. Even cops are not immune from the shenanigans. In 2018, a police officer complained that a Burger King employee had put gritty substance on his burger. But a serious investigation took place. It was revealed it was just seasoning. Did this happen in Florida?
What?
Not Florida. Just seasoning. They did an investigation on a hamburger. Who puts this much time and effort into
whatever police station that this happened at does that?
Because they had to send it off to forensics. They can't just look at it and go,
like
that's definitely dirt.
Karen Reed, Canton PD police work. Let me see. I'm gonna go not Florida. It's not weird enough for me.
Somewhere in the world. You want me to read it again?
I know, but Burger King reads a little more Florida to me than McDonald's, but mostly because I would go to that Burger King after high school, the one that's by the Publix. I'm 40, so well, it's not a burger. Is there a Burger King still there? No, it's a gas station. There was Burger King.
Which Burger
I'm
King?
gonna go not Florida.
Which one?
The one by that, like at the on 486
by Publix. Yeah, it's still there.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, the gas station's there and inside is Burger King. Yeah.
I would get chicken fingers a lot after school there. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go not Florida.
Saying not Florida on this one. Amanda's saying Florida on this one.
It's tough.
It was Florida. It was a Florida police officer. It was a Florida incident.
Dumbass.
I am shocked.
Does it say the county?
It doesn't tell me. Doesn't tell me.
That's retarded. All right.
It sucks, yeah. But it sucks that it was Florida. So
Keith, don't worry. You'll be playing this tomorrow night.
okay, here we go. Man tries to evade arrest by cartwheeling away from cops.
Florida.
You're so quick. Why? I gotta know. Like, what? Why do you think?
There's just always the run-ins with the police and like authority, like just the Florida people. They'd be crazy. I think it's all the meth. It's all the meth. That's methy. That's
Well, nowhere in that headline did it say he was messed up. So
they don't need to. It's you got to read between the lines, Mark.
sometimes it makes the headline even funnier when they say he's messed up.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Amanda.
We're waiting on Amanda.
And Keith, if he's playing still. So gymnastics probably isn't the first thing you think that someone would use to escape from being grabbed, but it most certainly was for this one person. Outside of, come on, I want to tell you where it happened. I'm waiting for Amanda. I gotta wait for Amanda. We gotta see what Amanda says.
Amanda.
Come on, Amanda. Don't Google it. They're just a couple of seconds behind everything on there. So if she doesn't answer, I'm gonna give you the answer. I want to say not, but I'm clueless. Outside. See, it did happen outside. All right, here we go. I'm gonna read it off to you guys. Here we go. Gymnastics probably isn't the first thing you'd think of someone that would use to escape from being grabbed, but it most certainly was for this one person. Outside of an Orlando shop,
Yes!
a Florida man escaped from being apprehended by the cops by cartwheeling.
Yeah, that sounds like a Florida man headline.
That was 100% a Florida man headline. Good for you. That was fantastic. You got that like that though. Like you're lightning fast.
Yeah.
All right.
That reads Florida. That reads methy. Yeah.
It was probably the meth or maybe Coke. Who knows?
Angel dust. Coke, I feel like he'd be running.
Listen, I mean, maybe he was trying to get it to come back so that he could get that numbnation again. You gotta tilt your head a little bit, sir. Let's see here. What was that? 4? Was that 4?
Yes, that's 4.
I got one more. Here we go, guys. The last one. 64 suspects arrested in a drug bust that seized enough fentanyl to kill 100,000 people. Was this Florida or not Florida? Oh, I hope you get this one.
I just feel like there's a lot of fentanyl everywhere right now. This could be Pennsylvania. This could be Rhode Island. This could be Ohio. I'm gonna go not Florida.
This could be Florida though too.
It could be. That's the thing. It's like fentanyl is rampant everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go put my money on Florida for meth though. I feel like it's a Fenty. This is somewhere else. This Florida. They're not doing the fentanyl.
Amanda says,
"Hey, Keith.
Keith, how did you know this?"
He was one of the guys who got busted. Citrus County.
It happened in Citrus County.
He looked it up.
64?
64 people were arrested during a drug bust that seized enough fentanyl to kill 100,000 people. Inverness, Florida.
When?
Last year.
This happened last year when Mike Pendergast was the sheriff.
What?
So, yeah. When you were here, we had one of the best sheriffs around, I think. Dossie, yeah.
Yeah, I'm friends with his son, Brian. Graduated.
Are you really? Are you really?
Graduated with Brian. Yes.
We graduated with Stacy.
Nice. And yeah, we did have a party over there one night, and I may have put on his uniform. I wasn't allowed to touch the hat though. That was off limits. I went for that, and he's like, "Nah, can't touch the hat. Holster's fine. Hat is not."
Yeah, I don't know if Jeff left Citrus County when he retired or not.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know. I
remember.
don't know if Brian's still, because Brian's not there, but
I really
Well,
thought he was doing.
I feel like Brian went to New York or Pennsylvania or something like that. Didn't he
he
go
wasn't.
north?
He did. And I don't know if he wound up settling in North Carolina, but yeah.
Okay.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
So, what do you miss about Citrus Podunk Citrus County? What do you miss about this place?
Yeah, it's I'll be honest, it's the people, really. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like I just I've met my lifelong friends there and just kind of the quietness as it, but it's like, I miss going singing karaoke at the Old Mill Tavern, doing some courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue Toby Keith. I mean, that was my jam, and I mean, the springs are beautiful, and just kayaking, and just the slower pace of things. It's
yeah.
really nice to come home to
So,
after
10 out of 10 would
having.
recommend.
What's that?
10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10 would recommend. It was a great place to raise a family. And so I enjoy going back now. I felt like when I was in college, I went back more than I realized. And it came a place where it's like, I think if you would have asked me at the time, I wouldn't have said that. But looking back, I just the small town, that the people are great and how supportive they've been of my career. I mean, I've just like absolutely blown away with how many people traveled to come see me perform. And it just made me so proud to be from Citrus County. Mm-hmm.
I'm still proud. Still proud of this. Here's the thing. We got the expressway that went through now, and I'm a little disappointed with that because that kind of cut right through my neighborhood. So I'm like, it's further down the road, but I still have to drive under an underpass, which I never had to do before a day in my life in this county, to go to Mark's house even. And Mark only lives 10 minutes down the road.
Not even.
Wow. I know, but it's so fast to get to the airport.
Not really. Not really.
It shaved like 15 minutes off for me, which I like.
15 minutes. Leave 15 minutes earlier.
No.
Yeah.
15 minutes just so you can drive under an underpass too.
Buy a helicopter. I think you can almost afford one of yet.
We'll wait for my Netflix special.
Yes. Yeah. When you kill it on Kill Tony and you make all this money, just remember the guys over at Talking Shit were the ones that told you to go on Kill Tony.
That's right. Brian and Mark.
But if you bomb on Kill Tony, I didn't say a fucking word.
If I bomb, I'm going to call you out on stage.
You're not going to bomb. You're going to do fantastic.
It's an interesting crowd. I mean, people bomb, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like, what opener do you use to get them on your side real fast?
Yeah.
I need to watch more of it too, just to kind of see before I do my homework.
You got this. You got this.
Yeah.
Can't wait. What do you have coming up that you want people to know about?
Let's see. Well, if you guys have any fans in the Northeast, I'm doing a 2-week tour in November. I'm kind of going back to, I have a lot of family up there, and I lived up there for a little bit, but I'm doing Baltimore, DC, Philly, New York, and I might squeeze in a Boston. I'm getting a lot of requests to perform in Boston, but so I'm really excited to do that. Kind of go back there and see what that's like.
I'm actually gonna be in Boston in October. You're not gonna be in Boston.
Just miss me. Yeah, it's the first 2 weeks of November. So if any of your listeners have friends or family up there, I'm doing a whole Northeastern circuit, and we'll see when I'll be back in Citrus County. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm trying to figure out kind of when, but at this point, it seems like I'll at least be doing one tour a year in Florida.
And I was going to ask, where would you normally tour at? Because there's not a lot of comedy places here in the county, I think.
Right. There is one in Inverness, but that they've approached me. They just have said it needs to be like PG clean, not even PG-13. I'm like,
oh, wow.
I don't even know if I want to do that. But we'll see. But in Tampa, there's the Side Splitters there. I've performed there twice now, which is great. And that feels like a hometown crowd. For some people in Citrus County, that's only about an hour there. And then there is some places in Ocala as well. So I'm going to try and get a little bit closer to Citrus County next time I come. I just haven't figured that out yet. I just did a comedy festival in Colorado, and I've been traveling a little bit. And then, so I'm going to take in a little bit of time. I had a couple corporate gigs and performances where it just was, I'm just going to take a little breather for a minute, write some new songs. And but everybody can check me out on, I'm Dana Teller on Instagram. I'm Dana Teller on TikTok, on all the things. I'm still new to TikTok. But I'm just kind of playing around and just kind of trying out different stuff. So if you want to come get weird with me, you can follow me at Dana Teller on TikTok and Instagram.
Perfect. All right. So we want to know when that show for the Florida tour comes around.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know.
Brian will buy my ticket for me.
We have to buy tickets.
Do the Florida Man song. I do it. I was going to go in there. Parody song, yeah. It's a parody song to the tune of Piano Man, but to Florida Man.
That's going to be fantastic. I want to see this. I want to hear it. I want to see it. This is going to be great.
It's fun. That's been doing really well.
Dana, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we let you go? Because we asked you for an hour of your time, and you've been super humble about giving us right there at an hour. And, we don't want to hold you up from doing whatever you need to do. But if there's something you want to talk about, something you need to get off your chest, somebody you want to scream at.
Oh, no, I'm a glass half full person. I definitely have. There are things that grind my gears, and that's what I like to talk about. I think that's what I've been doing on socials, but this has been so fun. It's been so cool to come and talk to people from Citrus County. I mean, this is like where it all began, and these are where my fans and my friends are. So it's just really cool. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate your time tonight.
It's fun.
And we can't wait to see what you do. And yes, we do. I 100% would absolutely love you if you went and murdered it at Kill Tony for sure. But yes, any of the projects that you have coming up or anything that you want to put out, give us a heads up and we'll gladly share it for you.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Look at this love and support coming from Citrus County. I know. There's nowhere else like it.
All right, guys, we've been talking tonight with Dana Teller, and we've had an absolute blast. And she almost had Mark falling on the floor in stitches here a few minutes ago. You guys missed it. So we're going to end the show right here, Mark. Is that what are we doing? Why are you looking at me like that? What is going on here?
Let's see if you can end it.
Oh, tune in tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, as we have our special guest, Keith. I swear to God, I'm going to butcher this last name, but I'm going to say Groyan. It's this guy. He's going to be on the show tomorrow.
And then on Tuesday,
I don't know.
On Tuesday, we will have a show. Guy from YouTube. His name's Jason Nike.
Oh, Jason Nike. Okay.
From Backtrack Cinema. He's a podcast. And then after that, we're taking I think it's about a month off because we have
a break. You can't fire me. I quit.
Because we have to get some stuff fixed. Brian has to have something fixed, and my shoulder has to get fixed. So, and then I'm also moving at the same time.
My finger fixed. Look at that.
That's not where. Never mind. I'm being nice here.
Okay. Are you happy now? Are you good?
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, from us here at Talking Shit, my name is Brian.
I'm Mark.
And this is Dana.
Oh, I'm Dana.
That's who she is. And we're out of here. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.